God. Today I'm going to be facing one of my biggest fears, which is really hot things. My entire life I've stayed away from really hot things. Stoves, fires, ex-girlfriends. Dana, if you're seeing this, I'm so sorry. Please take me back. We can make it work. We're going to be making a mummy candle, and as it melts away, it's going to reveal a skull underneath. So let's get to it. I used Thingverse to find the design for the skull. Thank you, Trailogy. And then, of course, I left a tip for the designer. All right, so we have, Jesus, sorry. Hi, we have the skull here. It has a lot of imperfections, but that's okay. We are just trying to use it as a basis, as a reference for the clay. So we're gonna slap some clay on it and then mold the clay and then use that as a reference point. So this is okay, and then it will be the concrete later on. Okay, YouTube, meet Karen. Karen's just looking for love. Love, I need love, give me love.
What is that? I saw him post that and then it's me.
All right, this is what it looks like after I've done all the sculpting. Honestly, not a huge fan. I think it looks more like a Michelin Man or like the Invisible Man than a mummy. I was looking at it like, why is it doing this? And I think it's because the contrast of a mummy is between the skin, the bones, and then the bandages. And you just don't have that here because I need to keep the skull hidden and keep the skin hidden until the actual, burning of the candle reveal. So hopefully it looks a lot better when I do that, or it could just be a colossal waste of time. Dude, come on. What are you doing? Come on, dude. Feel into my life. You're my inspiration. What? Dude, we can't go into Five Below. We don't have the time, we don't have the money, all right? Let's focus. We have to stay on track. I did the 3D scanning at NextFab in Philadelphia. It's a really cool place where you can make things and learn from the people there. And wow, this video is making me feel bad about my video skills. I imported the file into Blender, which is a free 3D modeling software. It's great that it's free, but it was a little tricky to use, so I might use something else next time. Basically, in order to create a mold, you create a box around the object, and then you take the difference between that box and your object, and then you divide it in half, or as many parts as you want with the mold, and then you just take some differences there. I used a Prusa printer and a Prusa slicer in order to create this thing, and I also used TPU filament, which is a little bit more flexible than PLA filament. This is it after 14 hours. It's actually a lot better than I thought. I thought it was gonna come out this morning and be like just falling apart, but it's not too bad. We have 25 more hours, so this is a very long thing, and it's just the half. So we got another half to do. Okay, as the candle mold is printing behind me, I was like, great, I'm just gonna make a quick skull mold, right? And all I have to do is take the anatomically correct skull, and I just have to make it solid, like a solid skull, and then make a mold of that, and I print it, great, cast it in concrete so it can like withstand the flame, and I'm good to go. And it was literally the hardest thing I've ever done in my 5 days of using Blender, but it was still really tough. I spent so much time. I tried to shrink wrap it. I added like spheres. I put like faces on it. I pulled out the clay to try to make like a more like complete shape. All I wanted to do was make it solid. And I literally failed again and again and again. So I did what every smart, successful, gritty, just determined person does, and I quit. And what I did instead is I printed a just a regular skull out of plastic, and I'm just gonna paint it in cement and call it a day. And in true Ryan fashion, I've even messed this up, so it's like offset, so I need to clean it up before I do that. Let's see if it can track. I wanna see if the camera can track it like as it's flying through the air. Ready? Nope, that was a fail. Why would I think that would work? All right, the molds are done. We have this beautiful give the family business to mold. It has incredible detail. You can see the detail there. It's super rigid, but also very flexible. And it's just, God, it's beautiful. I'm so proud of it. And then we have the Ryan of the family, which is just like super flexible to the point where it's kind of breaking. It skipped a beat. If you can see up there, it's skipped over here. And then the worst part is it's actually, I don't know if you can see that, but it's a ½ inch smaller. Somehow I messed up the size, the scale of the thing. And so that's gonna be an issue. If I could go back in time, I definitely don't need to check the scaling on this. We've got our paraffin wax, paraffin because it holds the shape a little bit better in the mold. We have our little hot plate and this, which will heat it up and melt it. We have some like dye to make it a little bit less white. We chose ivory because the elephants. We have the wax string that's going to go in and it's going to be the actual wick. And then we have some these metal things that are going to hold the stuff at the bottom. And we got a fancy new tool. It tells us how hot things are. I'm going to take it to the bar later. And we're almost done with this guy. We have our wick right here. We want the wick to be as kind of in center of the wax as possible. And so in order to do that, I made this little nifty like ice cube tray. And so the purpose of this is going to just kind of create these rectangular beads on the wax on the wick. And that is going to keep it away from the wall and hopefully melt a little bit better.
There comes a time in every man's life where he must face his fears, in this case hot things, or become a footnote in history.
Damn it, Dan! There was supposed to be a little more little! Okay, it is a little hard to see. I'm kind of fine in the dark here. You can kind of see that the eyes are hopefully where they're supposed to be, but I can't see a large part of it, so it's going to be a little bit of find out. So yeah, we're ready now. This is melting. We're ready to go. It is not going great. The form is pretty much breaking down, and so we have I'm trying to keep it all stoppered up, but this trail of wax goes all the way back there. And now we've got a new one. Oh my God, I don't know how much I can do. I think that the mold is breaking down from the heat of it all. And I don't really know what to do. So I let it dry overnight and it sent out a lot of wax. So right now it is not as low as it could be, but it's pretty low. So I'm trying to figure out if it went through the mold or it just went through one of the side cracks. If it went through one of the side cracks, then I can hopefully like repair it and fix it and plug it with something. But if not, then we're kind of screwed. Wow, that is stiff. It's probably all up in there. It worked. Well, kind of worked. This part worked. We'll see if it actually holds up when I melt it. But yeah, now I'm gonna take off the mold and see how it goes. Shoits! I didn't want to cut it. I wanted to reuse this mold, but the way I printed it, it's not very good. So I'm just gonna cut it because I'm not cutting it. Like I'm not. You understand? Okay. Oh, it's not terrible. It's blue. Yo, this could have been so much worse. It's actually not that bad. It looks like a mummy, which is more than I could ever hope for. So the clay is still left behind, and the blue, I'm guessing, because I wasn't, if you notice, there's like a clear difference between the top part and the bottom part. So the bottom part, I was just kind of pouring in the wax at like 140 degrees, 120 degrees Celsius, which doesn't mean anything to me, but apparently the Europeans, it's like really, really hot. And I think what was happening was it was melting some of the blue mold. And so that's where you see this like blue ring. So we'll try to hide that up. I realized that I begin every single video with like, all right, like no matter what it is. So, all right, we're going to be painting it now. I figured I might as well just show me painting it so you can see that my tongue probably sticks out a lot while I do it. And I'm gonna just get in the groove. All right, before the big reel, make sure you hit the like, subscribe buttons, vote for me in the presidential election, whatever you gotta do. Really excited, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for all that support, and I'm really excited about bringing a ton of new projects coming up. So without further ado. At this point, everything went to shit. The camera stopped working, and then the filament actually caught fire, and so it destroyed the structure of the skull, and I had to put it out with a lot of smoke. lesson learned. My next project's gonna have just pure concrete in the middle, no plastic. All right, obviously this isn't what I intended for the final project, but I learned a lot and I had a lot of fun. For the next one, because I'm going to do another sculpture that's a candle, melts and reveals something, is maybe like a Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger combo, maybe a Charmander. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. And thank you for watching.